Hello?
6412 York Drive.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Is that my computer? Okay, I was just trying to get you checked in for court. Do you know your case number?
I don't know it.
Or name?
This is Bryce Thompson.
Who are you calling in for? Is it for you or is it for someone else?
Yes, it's for me. And it could be Tyler Thompson. That's my first name.
Okay. But you do not know. Do you not know your case number?
I could look for it. I don't know it.
Okay. I'm going to just put your name down. We're trying to check everybody for court. We do have a big docket, so if you'll just bear with us. I'm going to put you back in the waiting room until it's your time for court, okay?
Okay, mine is with Teresa Robertson. She's the tenant, if that helps any.
Yes. Okay, that helps. I appreciate it. Okay, so you're the landlord. Got it.
Yes.
Okay, I've got your case number. I've got you checked in. So just hold.
Okay.
I'm going to rename your case real quick. Okay, I'm going to put you in the waiting room. Just hold tight, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Shoot. Can you hear it on my computer too? Like what happened? I'm going to log off. There, so I don't hear it twice now. Say, Rose, I have to be direct, or I don't know if you listen. I mean, like anybody listens. So don't take it personal when I'm direct. It's like, get the window, Rose.
It was for me anyway. This guy was there 2 sets of papers, not one of them for him. I'm sending it back to the attorney's office.
Oh, really?
Okay, I'm trying to get you signed in for court. Can you hear me? You are on mute, just FYI. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, what is your case number or who are you calling for?
Teresa Robertson.
Okay.
And
I will get you checked in. We do have a docket, a pretty full docket today, this afternoon. So if you will, just bear with us, getting everyone checked in for court. Okay, I'm going to put you back in the waiting room. Just hold tight until we can get to your hearing, okay?
okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
This is Lisa. I'm trying to get everybody checked in for Savannah. You are on mute. If you can unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hello. What's the case number?
Oh, let me look it up. Hold on 1 second.
Or the name?
It's Stacy Elliott in Wendover Apartments.
And you are Wendover Apartments?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm sorry, we're checking everybody in. And as soon as we get everybody checked in, we will start hearing the cases, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. This is Lisa. I'm just trying to get everybody checked in for court. Hello. think you're trying to connect, but I don't know if you can hear me or not. You are on mute.
Hi,
Hello, I'm Lisa. I'm trying to check everybody in for court. What is your case number or your name?
Gabrielle Reynolds.
Okay, I've got you checked in for court. I'm going to put you back in the waiting room until we get to your case. So if you would just hang tight, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. These are hard because you have a defendant and you know what I'm saying? Like there's double the people in these.
I would continue trying because there's a lot of people trying to get in. That one's being passed. So yes, just continue trying. I can see. I did all of them.
There's 16. Okay, you're on mute. I'm just trying to check you into court. What is your name?
It's like double. Because the other one, yeah. So I'm now.
I think you're on mute.
PLA. Yeah, the defendant.
Yeah, I'm putting DEF or PL.
There you go.
Like, yeah, this is Lisa. I'm trying to get you checked in for court. What is the name? Can you hear me?
Are you talking to me? I'm
Yes.
Patricia Mills.
Yes, I'm trying to get everybody checked in for court. Do you have your case number or who are you calling? Are you calling for? Are you the plaintiff or the defendant?
I am the plaintiff.
Okay. I found you. I will get you checked in for court and then okay, I've got you checked in. We do have a large docket this afternoon, so if you can just bear with us, I'm going to put you back in the waiting room, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Hello, Troy. This is Lisa.
Yes, ma'am.
Getting you checked in for court. We do have a large docket, but I just wanted to get you checked in and then I'm going to put you back in the waiting room, okay?
Okay.
Sorry about
All right.
that.
All right.
Be with you in
Thanks.
just a little bit. Thanks.
All right. Bye.
Check that. Hello, this is Lisa. I'm sorry, I'm on a Zoom call. They can help you, mommy. Oh,
I'll be right with you.
there you are. I'm trying to get you checked in for court. Who is this?
This is Brian Phillips representing Marty Ramsey.
And you are for the plaintiff, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to rename your login and then we will get you with the judge. We do have a large docket, so just taking some time to log everybody in.
Okay.
Okay. Can you give me 3 copies? I don't know if you need the original, that one. Did the judgment fall in your favor? Okay, so you need a
Okay, I got you checked in. I'm going to put you in the waiting room and we'll be right back with you, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're not out within 5 days, no, 6 days, you can follow it. It's 5 days, so if you've got had your investment, then you can file on Tuesday morning.
My name is Lisa. I'm going to be checking you in for court. What is your name?
Yeah.
You are muted at the moment.
Oh, sorry, Melissa Welch.
And who are you calling for?
It's for Steve Clark.
Perfect. Savannah had to run an errand, but she will be back in just a second.
Okay.
So I'll get you logged in and then we'll get to your case as soon as we can, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Hello, I'm trying to get you logged in for court. What is your name? You're not going to be able to see me, but you can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay? Okay, I'm going to put you back in the waiting room because I'm not able to communicate. So I'll be back with you. This is Lisa. I'm trying to log you in for court. What is the name? You are on mute currently. Okay, I'm trying to get you checked in for court. What is the name? You are muted. There we go.
Okay.
Trying to get you checked in for court. What is the name?
Robert Zavala.
Okay. We do have a large docket this afternoon, so if you can just hold on,
Mm-hmm.
we will get you logged in.
Okay.
And we'll put you back in the waiting room.
Uh-huh. Well, I have to press *6 again to talk again.
Possibly. I'm not sure. I've never been on that end. So it
Oh,
does
okay.
mute you. So yes. I'm going to put you back in the waiting room and we'll get everybody else checked in and then we'll be with you. Just stay on, okay?
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I use my headphones because
Phone number ending in 491. This is Savannah with the precinct 4. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, can I have your name, please?
Judy Colazo Salas.
Judy Salas. Okay. All right, I've got you checked in for court. I'm gonna put you back over in the waiting room.
Okay, thank you.
Phone number ending in 457. Can you hear me?
We're precinct 4, but that's not my case number.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can I have your name, please?
Afronette Williams.
Okay, I'm gonna put you back over in the waiting room. I've got you checked in for court.
Okay, thank you.
Phone number ending in 816. Can you hear me? Phone number ending in 816. Can you hear me? Phone number ending in 816. Can you hear me?
Is that very first code? Did you hear me first? You might want to see if they'll let you use that one.
Phone number ending in 572. Can you hear me?
Yeah, the one that accidentally served you. Yeah.
Phone number ending in 572. Can you hear me?
That's how you get their attention.
Yes,
Can I have your name, please?
Patricia Mills.
Okay, Miss Mills, I do have.
I think you
checked-
already have me.
Hello?
I think you already have me accounted for.
Okay, did you check in twice or?
Well, I checked in on my iPad and it wasn't acting like it did last time I did the Zoom meeting. I couldn't see anybody. I couldn't hear anybody. So I dialed the number and all I got was a waiting. So I just waited to see if I needed, but I think I'm on my iPad now. Yeah, should I just hang up my phone then?
I was trying to, yeah, go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Miss Mills, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Excuse me. I've got you checked in. I'm gonna put you back over in the waiting room for a moment.
Okay.
Hello? 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 Oh, hello? 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 Hello?
This is Savannah with Precinct 4. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Can you turn up your volume so I don't have to yell, please?
My volume's all the way up, ma'am.
Okay.
Mo-
What's your name, please?
Are you Stacy Elliott? STACY ELLIOTT.
Okay. I've got you checked in for court. I'm gonna put you back over in the waiting room for a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Phone number ending in 816. Can you hear me? Phone number ending in 816. Can you hear me?
God, please. Launch
Hello?
meeting. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. What is your name, please?
Hi. This is Savannah, 8816. I was trying to do it, but it didn't let me unmute my phone.
Oh, are you on? Wait, I have you twice. With
Yeah, I
Tanglewood,
tried
right?
to do it from my laptop now because my cell phone wasn't working a minute ago, but it like,
What do
on
you
my
want to do? Your
laptop,
laptop or?
I mean, I want to know if the laptop, if you can hear me, and then if we can do it through the laptop, then I'll hang up my phone.
Let me see
But
if I can.
like,
I'm adding you over
I
right
don't know.
now. Your laptop's connecting to audio.
It's connecting to audio.
hmm So it might be,
Okay.
maybe it doesn't hear like any speakers or it doesn't sense any earbuds or something. You might have to plug something into it.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Well, I mean, if we can do it through my cell phone,
You can do it
willing
through your
to do
phone.
that.
That's fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
we'll
fine.
just do it through my
I'll
cell
just do
phone.
the
'Cause I don't know
phone
what's
and then I'll
going
just
on.
remove the iPad one.
Okay.
All right, I've got you checked in, put you over in the waiting room for a moment.
Okay, perfect. Thank
Okay, Judge, meeting is locked.
I'm not very fast to getting people checked in when there's double the cases, dude.
I know.
I'm not used to that, man. I'm like, oh, there's two for every case. But now I know how you just scream at them.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you do.
All right.
All right, so first case, we've got Troy with Century 21, John Walton Realtors, and Judy Solis, case number 277.
All right.
Troy, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right, I have Troy Lewis, Century 21, John Walton Realtors against Judy Solis, case number 277. Actually, let me go ahead and admit all judge before we start with their case, and that way you can swear everybody in at one time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm just letting everyone join in. Give me just a moment. All right, I've got everyone in the waiting room or in the virtual courtroom right now. We're going to go ahead and get everyone sworn in. If there's anyone that's going to be speaking for you today or on your behalf or as a witness, make sure that they are in the screen and swearing in as well, or they will not be allowed to give a testimony. I'm going to go ahead and let the judge swear you in, and then we'll move you all back over to the waiting room, and I'll bring you over case by case. Judge?
Thank you. Appreciate it. And I want to give all of you a good afternoon. We are here for an abatement hearing on the CDC declarations. And so it is the plaintiff who is responsible to prove their case, and the defendant will have a chance to defend. And any cases that where the defendant has not appeared, we will make set another time for another hearing and make every attempt to get that defendant in the queue. Anyone who will be speaking, as the clerk mentioned, as Savannah mentioned, anyone who will be speaking to me, either a defendant or the plaintiff or any witnesses or anyone speaking for the defendant or the plaintiff will need to be sworn in at this time. And so no one will speak to me unless they have been sworn in. Will you please all raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
I do.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put everyone back over in the waiting room except for Troy with Century 21 and Judy Solis. I'll keep you guys on. Okay, Judge, I've got Troy and Miss Judy Solis on the line.
Okay. And hello, Mr. Troy.
Yes, sir.
You are contesting the CDC declaration by Judy Solis. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, and on what grounds are you contesting this?
Well, we've, believe by the guidelines, they're supposed to stay in contact and make some kind of reasonable attempt at payment. We've had no contact. We don't have a phone number. We haven't received any type payment on this property since September. And my owner is trying to seek some kind of remedy where she can sell her property because she's getting in financial situation where she's going to have to sell it since there's been no revenue for over 6 months on the property.
Okay.
I suggested to Miss Salas about calling the city when I spoke to her, I believe in October. I think that's when it was, about contacting the city about getting the grant for the community development, and told her she could also contact Salvation Army and Catholic Family Services to try to receive some kind of monies, but we haven't received anything.
And no contact at all since October?
No contact since then. We don't even have a key to the house. She changed the keys to the house.
I see. Okay. And Ms. Salas?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Will you respond to the statement by Mr. Troy?
Yes, I did apply for assistance, and I have all the paperwork here. I was approved, and they had faxed a form to Century 21, and that's the form they were waiting on. But then I ended up getting my phone cut off, and I used my friend's number for them to contact me back. But then I contacted them back, and they said they were waiting on a form from Century 21 that they would call me back on it. So I was under the impression that they were getting paid. I never gave a payment because I couldn't, but now that I got this hearing, I had to do this hearing, I called over there again, and they said they never even didn't give a payment because there was missing forms.
Okay.
So
do you understand, Ms. Salas, that it is your responsibility to make sure that you stay in touch with both the landlord and the different authorities that you are seeking aid from, to make sure that everything is properly followed up on and taken care of? Do you understand that?
Yes.
Then I'll need you to get in touch with the landlord immediately, and not speaking to the landlord during this hearing, but with the landlord immediately, and with the various authorities that you have sought aid to. I will need you also to show me evidence, of course, that you have been seeking this, and that there is approval, and that they are waiting on a form.
Okay.
I cannot rule today based on both testimonies. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue this case until the next abatement hearing. You have until that long to get everything in order. That means to get in touch with both parties, to get them together, and to get this taken care of. I am not sure that the moratorium will extend beyond March 31st. That is, of course, next Wednesday. And it could be a possibility that you could be out, that you could be evicted after April 1st, and unless the moratorium is extended. Our next hearing will be in roughly 2 weeks, which will be after the 1st of April. And so it's doubtful that at that point, I will need you to show me evidence that you are making every best effort to do this. Otherwise, I will proceed with the eviction.
Okay. And I was waiting on a refund check also, and I'm going to just pay it all because I owe so much. Would that be okay to do?
Well,
would it help? Would it help?
yes, anything will help, because at some point in time, when the moratorium goes off, whatever money is owed is going to be a judgment on you from now on. And so everything that you can pay off will help. And everything that you can do in the meantime to facilitate and expedite to make this happen quickly will be appreciated by the court, and will certainly go in your favor with any future hearings.
Yes, sir.
I am continuing this to the next abatement hearing, unless, of course, we hear of the moratorium actually ending on the 31st. Then if that would be the case, then we will proceed with the eviction, and you will have a chance to defend yourself at that time. So you have essentially 1 week to try to make things right.
Okay.
Otherwise, it will not go well for you.
Okay.
Okay? So
Yes, sir.
I need you to do that as quickly as possible, because you're not the only one who's been hurt by all of this. Obviously, landlords are hurt also when payments are not made.
I understand. The paperwork that I do have, I give it to them.
Yes, you need to give copies to them so that they can see what's going on. And we'll need at our future abatement hearing, the continued hearing, you will need to present that to the court also. If it is not presented to the court, then I will have no other option but to find the declaration invalid. So you must present evidence, since the plaintiff has presented their side, you must present defending evidence to show that you have made every attempt and to show exactly what you have done.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. And
Okay, so if you're done with this case, Judge, I went ahead and reset it.
yes.
Ms. Hollis, can I have your email address, please, ma'am?
Judy, JUDICOLLAZO 53 @gmail.
Judy, JUDICOLLAZ 0, or I'm sorry, 053.
Yes, ma'am.
You said at Gmail?
Yes.
Okay. What I'm sending over is the abatement hearing. It's going to be the same Zoom information, but this way, since we're telling you in court, the constable doesn't have to come out again and inform you of it. So if you do miss your next court hearing, it will go on without you. And Troy, I'm sending you the exact same email with the abatement hearing Zoom information. I'm just going to title it New Hearing, and hearing is set for the 30th.
When's it going to be for?
It's going to be on the 30th at 2 p.m.
Oh, it is 1 week.
April 30th?
No, March 30th.
March 30th. Okay.
Because that's a week.
All right.
That's a week from today, and that's since I've got everybody on the phone, I'm just gonna go ahead and get everyone set immediately. That way, I don't have to worry about getting the constable out or getting people served or someone missing their hearing. So it'll be much easier this way. Miss Hollis,
A
did
week
you have
from
any questions?
today, the 31st?
Mm-hmm.
Is it the 31st?
Yes.
Which is on Tuesday?
On
Wednesday?
Tuesday at 2.
Okay.
6 days from today.
Today is the 7th day,
Okay.
counting today.
Okay. So you email that?
Mm-hmm. I just did, and I emailed it to the Yahoo, that new email, since your other one blocks me.
Okay. All right. Sounds great.
Okay, Miss Hollis, did you have any additional questions before I remove you both from the meeting?
No, ma'am. Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you.
Welcome. That's okay, Judge, right? Because Tuesday
Yeah.
is just the better option that I have.
That'll be fine, now that I know
Because
that.
I don't want to do abatement hearings after April 1st if they don't extend it. I think that's just,
Right, yeah, it
you know
was
what I
good.
mean? So that way, if I do it on
But
the
I'm
30th.
glad we have one, I'm glad we have one set before the first.
Okay, perfect. So that one's continued. Okay, so the next one, I'm going to go ahead and bring over Patricia Mills. Patricia Mills is case number 334. On case number 334, I do show that the defendants, Deborah Cosella and Ted Picon, were both served by the constable. So they were fully aware of this hearing. They have just chosen not to participate. Miss Mills, can you go ahead and unmute yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. I don't know how much of that you heard, but your defendants did not show up today, but they were served by the constable. So we're going to go ahead and let the judge proceed. Judge, this case is a little different. She did wait for quite a while for an abatement hearing, and then it was scheduled, and then I had to reschedule. So there was a lot of mix up there. She was not happy with our office, but I have found out that they have actually moved out, but because there's a CDC declaration, I don't feel like we can go any further without this step.
Right.
So since they were served with everything, with the notice of hearing and everything, maybe she can go ahead and get her judgment.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, Miss Mills?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so my understanding is then that the defendant, Miss Coachella, has moved out.
Yes, sir. She has.
About how long ago was that?
Well, I was notified by neighbors that they thought they had moved out about a week before they let me know. And that was on December 22nd. And then I was notified on December 26th by Ms. Coachella that she said they had moved out on December the 1st. The gas company told me they didn't turn the gas off until December 17th. I really don't know when they actually vacated, but they gave me no notice and they did not give me a key back. And the only notice I got was on December 26th. And I had required 30 days notice and I didn't get it.
Okay.
The last time we had a meeting with you, Judge, she said she was in the process of moving out. But she was not. She stayed there for all the rest of October. She stayed there all of November, and she moved out sometime in December. I can't know exactly when, but the neighbors said it was around the middle towards the third week of December.
I see. Remind me, I'm looking at the dates here. The abatement hearing that we had, was that 11/20? Was that when, or 11/10? I'm sorry, 11/10.
No, I didn't know about any abatement hearing. I did not receive any notification of an abatement hearing. And just about a week or so ago, I was told that I had missed a date, and I was shocked. And so she reset it for me.
Okay.
And so, Judge, what that was, she had come in and she had some complaints. And so Cindy did try leaving her a message. But like Miss Mills stated, she didn't get that message. So when I came across that her paperwork was still sitting here on my desk, I went ahead and called her, and that's when we got it straightened up and got a hearing today.
I see. Okay. So I'm showing a date there of, what is this 11/10? Is that the date?
So she was set for that day.
I see.
For the regular eviction. That was the regular eviction on 11/10.
11/10 was the regular eviction.
That was the regular eviction hearing. And then they were both served. A CDC declaration was turned in, case documents in November from the plaintiff. Ms. Mills had sent in some case documents prior to. You had ordered the abatement. There was a motion to contest. And then we set her for today.
Okay. So this has gone on quite a while.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
I'm just trying, okay, I'm sorry for the confusion and the mix up here. And that's why I'm trying to find the dates and such here. On your contest of the CDC declaration,
Yeah, yes,
What-
I had two main things.
Okay.
One, I don't believe this is Ted Picon's signature on this declaration. In comparing it with the signature on my lease agreement, they don't match up at all. It's written, with a slant to the left, and he doesn't write that way, and she does. And somebody notarized both documents, one for her and one for him, but I don't believe they actually witnessed his signature. That was one complaint or notice that I had.
Ms. Mills, pause
Yes,
for
sir.
just a moment. Are you saying that the two documents, one signed by her and one signed by him, were they in the same handwriting? Is that what you were saying?
I believe that yes, I believe that she signed his name on the signature line of the CDC document.
Okay.
I
Now-
can't know that for sure, but it sure looks that way to me, and it does not match up with the signature on my lease agreement. The other thing is that I don't believe they applied for rent assistance. Rent assistance was available. I don't believe they applied for any. I never got notified. I never got called and asked how much rent they pay and or anything like that. And I never got any money. I got very little during those months, those early months of the pandemic. I have a list of what they paid, and at this point, they owe me $7,200 just in rent. That does not include any late fees, and that's after I gave them a chance to pay only $1,000 instead of $1,150 in the month of April, because I was trying to be fair. I didn't know this thing was going to go on forever, but I was going to be okay with that. But they stopped paying anything. They paid nothing in the month of March. And then they paid the $1,000 that I agreed to. If they would pay me that month, if they would pay $1,000, I would accept that. They still owed for the March. And then they paid nothing in May. And then in June, we'd all gotten a stimulus check. And of course, they have 3 children, so they got a pretty large stimulus check. And they did pay an entire month's rent in the month of June. They paid $1,150. But then in July, I only got $700. In August, I got $400. In September, I got $500. In October, I got $400. In November, I got nothing. And in December, I got nothing. And I know they were either working or drawing unemployment. And that's something I couldn't do. I couldn't draw unemployment. But if they were both out of work, drawing unemployment, they should have been getting enough income to pay me more than what they did. Even if they couldn't pay at all, they stopped paying pretty much altogether. I mean, I'm a senior citizen. I'm 74 years old. I rely on this income as part of my living expenses. And it's been tough on me. Yes, I'm not indigent. I'm not saying that I had to go without anything or eat dog food. I did not, but I did have to sell some things in order to make ends meet and make my payments and keep my credit up. I made some sacrifices. I just don't believe that they were fair with me, because when they got money, whether it be stimulus money, unemployment money, or aid for dependent children, SNAP or whatever. I don't know what all they did apply for, but I know they didn't help me out at all with rent. They did not pay their rent, and then moved out, like I said, without giving me notice. They had the utilities shut off. I could have had frozen plumbing if I had not been notified by my neighbors. And they never gave the key back. And they lived there nearly 3 years, and I was looking for the key to work. I couldn't find, my key wasn't working. I thought maybe they had changed the key, the the lock, and I couldn't make any of my keys work. I panicked, so I called and had Papa Lock, or no, it's Slim Jim's lock and key service come out and let me in and make me change the locks and make me some keys. And that was an expense that I had to be out too. That was without counting the cost of the keys that I had made. Just the service and the labor was $92. And that was on December 23rd. And then, of course, I had to worry about, trying to get my utilities turned on at Christmas time. So I did get them turned on. But mostly, I believe they've had money. I do believe that they were, every time I talked to her, she either had to, she was working or, she told me she'd been busy. Is the reason she didn't notify me they moved out, because she was trying to earn money to buy her kids Christmas with. Well, she's either drawing unemployment or she's working or she's doing both. And she told me when I tried to help her find a job, because I had to go back to work. I mean, I looked for work, and I went out and did the 2020 census all through this pandemic and went door to door. And I told her about that opportunity. I said, they're still hiring and they're paying good. I don't remember exactly how much they paid us per hour, but it was $25 an hour or something like that. And I told her about it. And she said, oh, I'll look into it. I gave her the numbers. Oh, I haven't had time to call. I've been busy. And then she told me that she was working. She had a job. Well, then we had that little hearing, and she said she was drawing unemployment. So I think she was drawing unemployment and working and not paying me. I don't know. I just know that she left me in a bind. And then when the last time I communicated with her, after she had told me, well, I'm going to try to get you paid back, I've got to figure out a payment plan. I never heard from her again. So I asked her, what she had in mind for that payment plan. She said, well, you always ask for too much money. She said, and I thought, I haven't asked for anything except pay me what you can. And she's paid me nothing. I've received not, since we had our hearing with you back in October, when she paid $400, I have not received another dime. Not a penny in November, nothing in December. She's paid me nothing in January, February, or March towards back bills. And so what she owes me in rent is $7,200. And then I feel like she owes me for having to get a key made to the house. Although I don't know, maybe you don't agree with that, because after 3 years, I don't know why I didn't have the key that would work in the house. But when I finally got in, there was a key laying on the windowsill. That didn't help me till I got inside. And I never looked to see, I had the locks changed. I never looked to see if that was the key that I had given her or if they had changed the locks. But I feel like they owe me for the bill I had to pay to Slim Jim's and the $223 I had to pay to file this case. And I'd just like a judgment so I can go to small claims court and try to collect from them.
Okay, what I'm hearing is that you've had no communication with them since November of last year. Is that correct?
Well, hold on just a minute. I've had a little bit of communication, but no money. Let me get my phone open here. I've tried to communicate and I've tried to be nice. Let's see. Okay. The only communication I had from them, I believe, since we had the hearing in October was, we moved out the 1st of December. Sorry it has taken me so long to get a hold of you. I have been trying to work to make Christmas, I'm sorry, flipped over, for my kids. I still would like to set up something so I can pay you what I owe you. That was on December 26th when I got the notification they had moved out. I said, yes, I would like that. What did you have in mind? I have property taxes coming due 5 days from now, and it would be a relief to be able to pay them without late penalties. And I sent her, of course, a copy of the LCAD statement showing how much I pay on that particular house, which is $1,922.90. And I was just trying to let her know I have a major bill coming up on that house, and you're way behind on your payments. I could use some help. And I said, this is what's due on just my 31st Street property. I have property taxes on my residence where I live as well. And then she said nothing. I said, so on December 30th, I said, have you deposited any money at all since October? The bank is telling me no. I got no response back. On January the 6th, I said, can you please deposit some money into my account? My account is still open for you to make payments into. She was making her deposits directly into my Walmart account for First Convenience Bank because it's open 7 days a week. And I said, please let me know when you've made a deposit. Didn't hear from her. On January the 11th, I said, what kind of payment arrangements did you have in mind? I still owe my property taxes and some other bills, not to mention the expenses I'll have with cleaning up and hauling off the mess you left for me. I have asked for a court date for a judgment against you. So anything you agree to in good faith might help both of us. Where is the hardware for my cabinet doors and my cabinet drawers? They were missing, totally taken off. And then doors were taken off, and I don't know why she did that, but I will also need to file in small claims court for things like that if I'm out the expense of replacing all that hardware in order to have a matching set. I also noticed at least one doorknob completely missing. Please let me hear from you. Thanks. Well, I didn't hear from her.
And that was what
So
date? What date was that again, ma'am? What date was that again?
That was on January 11th. And I did not hear from them at all. I notified her this week, this past Thursday. I said, since I've not heard from you or received any payments from you for back rent, I filed for a judgment hearing in small claims court. Actually, it's not, it's abatement hearing. And I've been having to wait my turn. I finally am having a court date for a Zoom meeting, and it's coming up soon. She said, she responded back, and this is this past Thursday. Yes, I've received the papers. That's regarding this meeting this morning or this afternoon. She said, yes, I've received the papers, and I have tried to make arrangements with you on payments, and you have asked for a lot each time. I'm still struggling with bills, so I can't afford to do big sums at this time. And I responded back to her on that same day on last Thursday. I said, I'm sorry, I haven't intended to overwhelm you, but I was used to receiving $1,150 a month to apply to my bills, and getting zero has been devastating and a lot for me to deal with. I did get a small stimulus check. I did get small stimulus checks, but I didn't qualify for unemployment or SNAP or any government assistance programs. I sold my Jeep and a piece of land to help make ends meet. I still have my house sitting vacant and in need of cleaning and repairs. And I left it at that. I haven't heard from her since.
Okay, so the last communication that you had with her was
last Thursday.
Last Thursday, okay. What would last Thursday's date be? Would that be the 20th? 19th?
Oh, sorry.
That's the 19th.
And she knew about this meeting today. I was surprised. That's what I was hoping to hear, that she had gotten her notification, because I had no way of knowing whether the officer would be able to locate her or not.
Right. These are always difficult cases with the CDC declaration. Let me.
Well, another concern I have about that declaration, I was told by the neighbors, of course, they don't know everything, and I don't either. I just know, they told me they didn't know she had a husband. They hadn't seen a man coming and going there that they thought was her husband for some time.
Now, on this listed on the eviction paperwork that you filed, you listed Deborah Cosella and Ted Picon.
Yes, that is her husband.
And
And I have been receiving letters from the child support office for him. So maybe they separated, maybe they separated or got divorced, but apparently he's paying child support to somebody. And those letters were coming to my box. He didn't put a forwarding address for himself. I think she did.
are you saying that those papers indicated that he was actually making payments, or was this a
No, I don't know what it indicated. He had some obligation to make child support payments, but I have no idea whether he's making them.
I see.
But,
that was my question, was
yeah,
actual proof that he had actually made any payments or not.
Oh, no.
Well, no, Judge, I do believe that she's just saying that once they moved, he did not forward his mail. So therefore she was getting him. She has not opened his mail because that would be a federal offense.
Right, right.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You're just, okay. So you haven't seen, you haven't seen that except just mail from them.
Right, right. That's it. It was just an indication to me that he didn't do a forwarding on himself, and maybe he did not live with her anymore.
Okay. That's, again, that's a speculation.
Yes.
What we need to do on this is to let me ask Savannah. This was served by the constable?
Yes, yes, he was able to find them and he served them.
And there was a return on it. Okay.
It's both on the case if you want to pull it up.
He also
served on 2 of them at the bottom.
Yes, thank you. And I was just looking through all of this. And of course, we have your testimony, Ms. Mills, that she indicated to you by text that she knew about the hearing today, last Thursday.
Yes, sir.
No, all that is judges, I started having the constable do personal service so that if they don't show up, I don't have to reset.
Right, exactly. I appreciate that. And just wanted to clarify that we've made all attempts and that there is indication that she was not only aware, but that she indicated to also to the landlord that she was aware. I am going to go ahead and declare the declaration invalid. And I have to present reasons for that. And the reasons is lack of communication, by the tenant, and in spite of service by the constable, tenant did not appear. And I am marking this down as apparently, her lack of appearance is apparently by choice. Not by lack of knowledge of the time and place.
And Judge, I don't know if it matters or not, but they had an adult woman living with them the whole time. As far as I know, the whole time they lived in my house. I didn't throw up any complaint. I figured she helped with the babysitting or whatever, but it was an older woman, probably her mother or his mother. And I don't think having childcare was a problem. She could go to work. She had a live-in babysitter, so to speak.
Ms. Mills, was there any contract violation having an additional person there?
Well, I didn't enforce it. I didn't enforce it.
I
I,
understand that you didn't enforce it, but was it in your contract?
I believe it was in my contract.
Based, that would obviously make a better case should there be an appeal on this. But
Okay.
the.
Okay, yes, here's what I had. Tenant agrees that the house shall be occupied by no more than 6 total number of occupants, including no more than 4 children under the age of 18 years old without prior consent of the landlord. However, I believe they only had 3 children, so that would allow for her to be there, so that wouldn't be.
Okay, that's an important consideration.
I think I was allowing for them to have an extra child, but I didn't think about them having another adult, but I didn't word it correctly, so.
That would not be grounds for evictions.
Right.
So that's what I was hoping to clarify there.
Right.
So based on this, tell me exactly what the amount of back rent is, leaving off any additional charges whatsoever, but just the rent that was agreed to in the contract for the number of months, and then minus whatever has been paid to you.
All right. The amount that is owed to me, not counting any late fees, not counting the 150 that I took off out of the goodness of my heart 1 month, 7,200 is what they owe me in back rent, not to include any late fees whatsoever.
$7,200. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You had agreed to take off $150 from that. Is that correct?
I already subtracted that. What I agreed to, I didn't charge them for.
I see. So the 7,200 is already with that subtracted.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Then I am ruling that the declaration is invalid and that the court will proceed with the eviction. The judgment is for $7,200 plus the court costs. And tell me the monthly amount of rent again.
$1,150.
I always set the bond as 1 month's rent. And so the bond is set at $1,150. And that's the bond for appeal. And that eviction is put in as of today with the declaration, with the CDC declaration being declared invalid. This is the 24th day of March. And I am signing that today.
Okay, and Ms. Mills, what I will do is I will mail you over your hard copy of the judgment. That way you will have that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. As far as any next steps, if you need to do small claims for like damage, the locks, like all that other stuff other than rent, late fee, stuff like that, you can come in and file the small claims.
Okay.
If you're wanting to just go on their credit, then you can just do an abstract of judgment, but you will not have to do a writ since they've already left the property.
Okay, $136 for filing that small claims.
Unless you want them served separately. If you want them both, responsible, then it'd be the 223, and if not, it'd be the 136. It just depends on how you want to file.
Okay, we'll have to give that some thought because I know that it does make a difference. Okay. Well, I think
So
that answered all my questions.
Okay,
Yes.
we're gonna go ahead and remove you from the meeting, and you're free to go for the afternoon. And like I said, I will mail those out to you. I will get them in the mail tomorrow.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all very much.
You're welcome.
Y'all have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do Savannah with Tanglewood. It is case number 434. Savannah, can you hear me? Savannah.
You have 2 cases. I just want to make sure you're paying. Ran the wrong one.
Savannah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I think I spelled your name the way I spelled mine. Yours doesn't have an H, does it?
It has one N and no H.
What? Blasphemy. Okay. All right, I got that fixed. So we've got you with case against Twala Peeler.
Yes,
Judge, I
Twala
do
Peeler.
show that on this case, Ms. Peeler was served by the constable regarding this hearing, and she has decided not to show up today.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, no.
Well, the good news is, Samantha, since she was served by the constable, we don't have to reset. We can go ahead and proceed without her.
Oh, good, good. Okay, perfect.
And what was the date? Let me go to this case and see, unless you have it up, Savannah, what date was she actually served?
Hold on, I'm sorry. She was served, it's under the civil program. She was served on the 15th. And he left a true copy and notice of the hearing with Donald Palmer, person over the age of 16 years of age, in the usual place of the defendant.
Okay, good.
Yes, that's her boyfriend or husband. I think now her husband.
Thank you, Savannah. My computer was having a challenge here. I can see that now.
Okay, perfect.
And okay, let me see that. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, Miss. Let's see. Savannah, and let's see. Now we actually had this eviction hearing on January 4th. Is that correct?
The first one was it was on the 5th
On the 5th
of January.
January. Okay. All right. And let's see here. Okay. Now then, go ahead and present your case that that the CD declaration is not in order here.
Yes. So yeah, the city case. Yeah. No, these are lease violations that she continues to keep having. She's basically damaging my property, and this was a completely updated apartment, which now I'm going to have to re-update. I've also caught her smoking marijuana in the apartment. I've asked her not to do that more than 3 times, and luckily, her husband and them, they don't mind showing off doing that. So these are just lease violations of the issues that she has been causing. Complaints I've been getting from my other residents who basically no longer feel safe because of their arguments and how fast they escalate. They go all the way from inside to outside. They also start knocking on my other residents' doors. So now my residents are afraid to even open their doors at all. So these are just, these violations that they're just not working out for us.
Okay. Had you made a request for back rent at the first eviction hearing?
No, the first eviction, it was for
These violations other than back
yeah,
rent?
it was just for the violations. As of right now, my owners and I, we do not, really care for the rent. We just want her gone. She's just causing too much issues, and we're now thinking of our other residents and how they feel.
Okay, I am looking at the answer from Miss Peeler right now.
Sorry, Judge, I was on the phone. Did you need me?
No, not yet. I'm just reading through the letter here that the answer that the tenant filed. It was filed on January the 14th.
Yes, but that was prior to the initial eviction hearing, so that would have already been mentioned or taken care of because she did show to the original hearing,
hmm
if I'm not mistaken.
hmm Yeah, she was
So that
online.
answer was given to the court on the 14th, but we had a hearing on the 19th. So her
Yeah.
answer has already, been submitted to the court and went over in that first hearing.
The lease violations that you have mentioned, Savannah, are what are those lease violations?
So I have a couple of during my quarterly inspection that I do every 3 months. The unit was full of smoke. She signed our lease addendum of no smoking. Our apartments are no smoking apartments. You can smoke outside, but not inside. She's been doing that. She also received a violation for damages to my property. They broke out one of my windows that I had to have replaced. Noise complaints. She had a
Was that a window in the apartment?
yes, it's the front window, so it's her living room window.
Has that been replaced now, or did you replace it? Or?
Yes, we ended up replacing it. I did inform her that she would be at fault. She would be charged for it. She still claims, that she tried to open it and it broke. But I personally myself, when the update was done, I go in there, I switch all the lights, I, turn on the faucets, flush the toilets, I open all the windows, make sure they all lock. I slide all the blinds, roll them all up, down, side to side. So I know for a fact that that window was a perfect window and it didn't have any issues at all.
Okay.
I did send pictures showing the glass. The glass was completely, something from the inside went out through the window. So the glass was completely shattered all the way to the sidewalk and to the parking lot.
One thing that is mentioned in the defendant's answer is that the manager that you called her mother.
Yes, there for a while, whenever I was calling her, she was supposed to make, and this had to do with the rent before the CDC forms. She was supposed to call me to make arrangements. I couldn't get in touch with her, so I ended up calling her emergency line, which is her mom, and I asked her to ask Miss Tawala to give me a call when she had a chance. It still took her a few days to call me, but her mom ended up getting in touch with her. Her mom did say, that she hardly, speaks to her, but she'll do what she can.
Okay. And have you had communications within the last month with Miss Peeler?
She came into my office, I want to say in the beginning of this month, to apologize for the way she was speaking and acting towards me. I did, tell her I accept that apology, that I'm so sorry that, everything that she's going through, I'm very sorry. I just told her, life is hard, yes, but there's so much help. And she just basically told me, it wasn't really anything that was going on. It was, I guess, an issue with her boyfriend / husband. And I just told her, well, he's not supposed to be there. If you want him there, he has to apply like I told you in the beginning. But she just came in to apologize. I apologized to her as well and just told her, I'm sorry that, this is going on. I didn't expect any of this to happen. When I met you, I thought you were a really great person. I said, listen, the first month of you being here, I said, you completely were a whole different person. And she said she knew that. She knew that she had changed, and she just wanted to let me know that she was sorry and for me to do what I have to do.
Okay. Let me ask you now, when did the lease agreement begin with her?
It began, her lease agreement began, I want to say she moved in October 1st, but she did not get to move in until the 4th because she didn't pay her rent just yet because she was still coming in from out of town. She was living in another state, so she was still driving in. But it did start on the 1st.
Started on the 1st of October. She paid you the month of October's rent and all
Yes.
prior fees. In the month of November, did she make a payment?
No, I only got the payment for the move-in, and then after that, she never paid anything.
Okay. She says that she lost her job on October 31st. And then, of course, when the eviction was filed, she filed the CDC declaration.
Yeah.
Okay. On your original paperwork, you listed back rent and these other violations of the contract. Correct?
Yes, that was for the first court date eviction. Yes.
All right. And your last communication with her was the beginning of the
Yeah, I want to say the beginning of the month, maybe the end of last month. But she still said she wasn't planning on paying anything. So I told her, well, I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with rent now. Now it's just causing too much issues here now.
Okay. Now then, the police were called to the apartment for what reason?
So I think a couple of residents had called the police for noise complaints, which the police never did anything. They just would say, they would knock on the door, tell them to quiet down, and that was it. I ended up being there one day that the police were called, and I thought I could trespass her boyfriend because they were arguing, but the police officer said because he had already went inside, I was unable to trespass him. So I never got lucky enough to get him trespassed, and the times that they were called, I didn't know until the following day or the day after. So I'm not sure who called him, but I was unable to retain a record of how many times they were out there.
You did not call the police yourself?
No, I called one time to see how I could trespass him. They told me he would have to be outside of the apartment. So he was outside of the apartment.
You called to ask the police if you could do what?
How I would be able to trespass him from the property because they were arguing outside.
They were arguing outside, okay, and how you would be able to say that he was.
How I would go about it, yeah.
I see. Okay. Has during this time, are you aware that the defendant made any attempt to receive aid from any source?
No, I'm not. But I did inform her, what she could do and where she could go. And the only thing she ever told me was she would. But she never showed me anything that she tried or confirmation, emails, anything like that. So no, I honestly don't think she even tried.
Okay. Okay. Based on your testimony and the non-response of the tenant, I am finding this declaration to be invalid.
Okay.
Okay, and Savannah, I will mail this judgment out. I will get them in the mail tomorrow. So you will have a copy of it and we'll mail her copy as well.
Okay, perfect.
You are not seeking back rent at this time, or you're on the original, of course, you filed for some back rent.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to, but honestly, my owners just, are more concerned about what's going on with the apartment, with the property.
All right, then the reason that I'm listing here is the tenant has not made an attempt to communicate with either the court or the landlord.
Mm-hmm.
And you have not received a payment since the very first payment in October, is that correct? Nothing at all since then?
Nothing at all. And even the beginning, it was a special, so she only had to pay $4.99. So it was a great special, but no, I have not received anything.
And that was her originally around October 4th.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And based on that, I am proceeding with the eviction. The judgment will be for the court costs alone then. I'm showing a 0 in back rent and the court costs. So it would be the court costs alone. What is the monthly rent in your agreement?
It's $700 a month.
So the bond is set at $700 for appeal.
I do want to ask, Judge, since it's an invalid form, am I able to claim for back rent?
Yes, you would be able to claim for back rent.
Am I able to do that now, or should I just do with the lease violations?
I would proceed only with the lease violations. That's what I have already marked down as the lease violation. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I am marking this today, March 24th, 2021. Signing that today and marking down that the eviction judgment is $0 plus the court costs, and the bond is for $700. And that is in force today then.
Okay, Savannah, do you have any additional questions before I let you go?
No, that's everything. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, great. Well, you have a great day, and I'll get that judgment out
Thank
to you
you.
in the mail tomorrow.
Thanks, Savannah. Have a good day.
You too. Okay, Judge, we're gonna go back up to case number 316.
Right.
Case number 316, I have Wendover Apartments. And it is April, I believe, from Wendover Apartments.
Hello.
Hello?
And then we have Stacy Elliott. He is the tenant. Now, this is one case that you might want to take a look at. This is one that he had gotten the writ of possession. And then we found out that with the CDC, if they didn't appear, they had to get served in order to proceed.
Right.
Okay. So I have both of them on the line and they've both been sworn in already.
Okay. So I'm speaking with Stacy Elliott. You are the
Yes, sir.
tenant, is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the plaintiff, who am I speaking to?
April Walker.
April Walker. You are representing Wendover Apartments.
Yes, sir.
And, okay. And April, you are contesting the CDC declaration, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And on what grounds are you contesting this?
According to the CDC, I'm sorry, I didn't have it pulled up. I am pulling it up right now. My apologies, Judge. Where did I file it?
You're actually looking for the declaration. Plaintiff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Where I cannot believe I just had it pulled up and it went away.
That happens sometimes. I'll give you a moment to.
Oh, here it is right here. I'm so sorry.
Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, so with the CDC declaration, what I am contesting is where he had signed the declaration. And on the declaration, you have to advise, according to everything that is in that you would make partial to timely payments. It was COVID related. He had come into my office, apologized to me that he had not been paying because he was being hard-headed and stubborn. I have filed for eviction back in October of 2020. And since October of 2020, I have only received 2 payments since October of 2020 from him. No partial payments, no other kind of payments, just the apology of him stating that he was hard-headed and stubborn. And I have only received a total of $650 since October, September. That's all I've received from him.
When did the lease begin with Mr. Elliott?
Are you speaking to her or me?
I'm speaking to, still speaking to Miss April.
Like this?
Started July 8th. And when he first moved in, Catholic Charities paid for him to move in. Catholic Charities paid his deposit and prorated rent. So from July 8th, Catholic Charities paid then, and I have received $650 from him since August until now.
And the amount of rent is how much?
$500. He does get Social Security monthly. I had reached out to Catholic Charities with him in the office again to try him rental assistance prior to. I had emailed Catholic Charities while he was in the office, and he did not qualify because it was not COVID related. He said it was because he had lost Social Security, and that's why he hadn't made payments, but that was months prior to.
Right.
I see.
So he's had Social Security since he's lived here. So he's had monthly income to pay rent.
Okay. Are there any other lease violations that you are, that you have sought, that you originally sought?
No, sir.
None. Okay. It was simply back rent.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Elliott, now you will have a chance to present your side. And the allegation by the plaintiff is that you are on I'm sorry, on Social Security disability. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, I am.
And what brought about this Social Security disability?
I have congestive heart failure. Whenever I came into the Windover, I was leaving the hospital. I'd been there almost a year. So I'm just that's how I got here. And then I was in the hospital. I had a different address, which I had to go and get evicted from that because of they moved a whole bunch of people in my house over there. And Miss April knows about it. She called the landlord and he even told her about it. And anyway, that's nothing to do with this. While I was there, I didn't receive my mail in the hospital. All right, the mail went to my box where I wasn't living because I was in the hospital. So they shut my Social Security off because I did not respond to it. Okay, so I had, due to the COVID, the office is closed here, and I'm unable to get my finances. So I tell Miss April about that. Well, after 2 months, I didn't get it. Okay, so by then she had already filed the eviction. All right, and then she had told me that we were going to work together. She did call Catholic Charity Services. We did talk to them. They said they didn't say it wasn't COVID related. What they said was it was they were out of funding. Okay, so now I've reached out to this other place right here, the city of Lubbock, and it's the Community Development Center place. Okay, well they're agreeing to help me, and they're agreeing to pay the rent. But Miss April still had put in there some stipulations as far as me still having to move out on the 16th of next month. So they're just holding back for now until I went to court today. So, but I went in and signed the paperwork with Miss April just last week, and she had copies of it, and told me I needed to let her know weekly is what I needed to do, what was going on with it. So I haven't heard nothing back yet because I got court.
Okay.
Other than that, and it was related to COVID because of their offices being closed down. My finances were shut off. Okay, and I was unable to get a hold of them. And finally, when I did get a hold of them, they did start my checks back up, and I did pay my medical bills, and I did get that money back also, Miss April. Thank you. And I did come and talk to you, and I did tell you I was being stubborn-headed because you were being stubborn-headed as well.
Sir, you are not.
She wouldn't speak to me.
You're to speak to me only, not to.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. I apologize. But all right, Judge, I went to her office several times on different occasions. She's never in the office at the same time. So, I mean, she's either there in the morning or in the afternoon, and I'm not sure which one either time because she changes the time all the time. She don't have no set hours there. I do come and try and talk to her, and she's never there. I've seen her just recently, yesterday morning.
Okay. Are you receiving your Social Security checks now?
Yes, I am, sir.
Have you received your back checks?
I have not.
You're saying that there was how many months?
Two. It was only 2.
2 months of Social Security checks that you did not receive because they went.
Right, and that put me behind. Yes.
They were sent to your old address.
No, they go directly to a card, but I was waiting for them, and my card had broke completely in half, and I had told Miss April about that, so I ordered a new card. Well, there wasn't even no money on the card because they had shut it off for 2 months, and I didn't know that. I just assumed it wasn't working because the card was cracked. And it wasn't that. It was just they had shut them off because I did not receive the mail at all. Because, whenever you get your mail back, they say return to sender or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I didn't respond to some questions they had about my disability, so they shut the disability off, assuming that I was no longer at that address, which I wasn't. I was in the hospital. So I guess, I don't know, it's some kind of security thing they do. They'll shut off your Social Security until you respond. I responded.
Sir, have you been able to file now for those 2 missing months?
Yes, I have, and I have not received them yet. I did receive one of those checks for the what's it called? Stimulus.
Stimulus check.
Yeah, I received one of those, and I paid a doctor bill with it, and I'm still waiting on that to come back because Medicaid pays my doctor bills.
You paid the doctor bill with
Covenant Hospital.
With your first stimulus check? Or are you talking about the stimulus check?
No, yes, no, the first. I haven't gotten this one yet.
You haven't gotten the newest one yet.
No, huh?
Correct.
And I have made payments to Miss April. I've made more than two. I know that. I got receipts for all of them.
You have receipts for
I mean-
how much? Do you
Well,
have?
yeah, I put two in the mail slot, and I've actually handed her maybe two. So it's been four. I haven't given her all the money. No, I haven't. I've spoke to her. I've done what she asked me to, and I did go apologize because of Mr. V, the maintenance guy. He talked to me and he said, "Look, man, she's pretty reasonable. Won't you go talk to her and tell her, hey, because I was being so hard headed, sir. I did receive that second one, the $600 check."
Yes.
And I did not take it to her. Okay. I just did that being stubborn. And I told him about it. And I said, look, hey, I was being stubborn. I wasn't going to take it to her because she had already filed on me. And then she was like, there was no what's it called? The reconciliation thing with the what's it called? Oh goodness.
The CDC.
The COVID thing where they're helping with the rent.
Oh, yes,
Yes, the City of Lubbock Community Development. Okay, well, I wasn't even going to do that, but I finally went and did it because they do have funding now, and they are helping. But they didn't have funding when I reached out to them before, and neither did the Salvation Army. The Salvation Army wouldn't do it unless she would agree to $200, I think it was, and her court costs cost that much.
Have you reached out to the Lubbock Community Development currently?
Yes.
And,
Yes. They do have funding.
They do have funding. Do they need something from? Do they need something from April from Wendover?
Yes, her agreeing not to throw me out. And she had already given a piece of paper in that statements there that said that she wanted me out by the 16th of next month. She would accept the funding, but she would not. She would only accept it until next month on the 16th.
Here is my problem, sir, and that is your obstinance in not paying anything when you actually had money to pay that. I'm not sure why you were so stubborn about that, because money is owed no matter what the situation is, and you don't make your situation ever any better by not paying. So paying would naturally, of course, at least put you in better light when coming to court.
I did start paying her then. Whenever you told me to start making partial payments, I did start doing that. I started talking to her and letting her know what was going on because I was being stubborn. I should have went and said something a long time ago. And I know this.
Okay, so you have made some partial payments, is that correct?
Yes, I have. And I'm going to make another one as soon as this other check comes in. I'm going to make it a bigger one. I mean, it's not great big giant checks. I get less than $800. And my rent's $5. I'm trying to get on Section 8. Okay. I've been trying to do that as well, but due to the COVID, I'm unable to do anything.
Here is the situation. The moratorium is scheduled to end on March 31st.
Right.
So I am finding sufficient cause to leave this until March 31st. There is the possibility that it would extend, that the moratorium would be extended to a longer period of time. And so what I'm going to do, to be fair to both parties, is I'm going to give you 30 days from today. We will reschedule this abatement hearing after April 1st, 30 days from today. And if the moratorium ends on March 31st, we will proceed with the eviction. I want to let both parties know that after March 31st, if the CDC moratorium is ended, we will proceed as standard eviction procedure. Which means that all rent must be paid, or the eviction will proceed as would normally happen.
Yes, sir.
If the moratorium is extended beyond March 31st, then we will have this continued hearing 30 days from today. And at that point in time, if there has not been proper follow-up on this, then I would proceed with the eviction because I would declare that the CDC declaration was invalid. Therefore, it is in your court to make sure, so to speak, it is your place to make sure that you make every attempt to abide by the CDC declaration, continuing to make partial payments, communicating with the landlords, with Miss April, and that you make every attempt to do that. If the moratorium ends on April 1st, then of course we will proceed. I will be forced to proceed with the eviction forthwith, immediately.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Could I get something from the court stating, that that's what we're doing now, so that I can give that to the development, community development?
Yes, you will get something mailed to you, and
I don't get mail. I don't have a key to the mailbox. Miss April knows that. I can't afford to get another key.
Okay. We'll check with the clerk and see if we can email or if there's another way that we can get the information to you.
I can come to your office if you'd like.
That would be ideal if you could come to the office.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yes,
And
sir.
Miss April, do you understand what we're doing from here?
Yes, sir.
You can, if the moratorium actually does end on March 31st, then we will immediately begin proceeding with all eviction procedures as normal. If it does not, then of course there is this 30-day stay period, and I hope that things can be worked out in that period of time. If not, then we will have another hearing and check on all of that.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Right now, this case is stayed, Judge, correct?
It's still stayed, yes.
Okay.
Set for 30 days continued based on the ending, contingent on the ending of the moratorium.
Okay, so I can set them for April if the moratorium ends.
Yes.
Okay.
You can set them for just the standard. We would proceed standard eviction after April 1st if the moratorium ends.
Okay.
And 30 days from today for a rehear of this abatement hearing if the moratorium is extended.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and remove both of you from the meeting. I will get that order sent out to both of you tomorrow.
Okay, ma'am. I'm gonna come to the office and get it.
Okay, we close at 4:30 today, so I'm not going to have it today. You're going to have to wait till tomorrow afternoon.
No problem, ma'am.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Savannah.
Bye. Okay, Judge. Next one, case number 360.
All right. Maybe we'll get through these today.
Well, actually, let me skip that one. Let's do, yeah, no, 360. That's right.
We are doing 360?
360, sorry.
Okay.
I'm only showing, oh, there he is. Okay, so I have here Marty Ramsey. Marty, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm here.
Marty, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And Mr. Zavala, you can hear us?
Yes, I can.
We're both on with the judge now. He's going to go ahead and continue from here. You were both sworn in prior, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. This is Lance Consino, and I am the Justice of the Peace hearing this abatement hearing. And Mr. Marty, if you will present your case for why you are contesting the CDC declaration.
Okay. We don't believe the tenants qualify under this circumstance for a couple reasons. They, first of all, are required to seek government assistance and try to get some of the government subsidies. They obviously haven't done that. We've had several people that have done that, and everybody we know that has done it has gotten paid. And I know they haven't done that because the government requires the landlord to fill out portions, and we've never been approached about doing that. Second of all, they've made no effort to make any sort of payments of any kind since September. And 6 months is plenty of time to get subsidy, get help from the government, get unemployment, come up with something. They're just essentially sitting back and taking advantage of the situation. And I don't believe that was the intention of the order. The order was meant to help people get back on their feet. And 6 months is plenty of time to try to get back on your feet.
Do you have anything further to present at this time?
No, sir, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Zavala, I would like to hear from your side now.
Yes, sir. I have repeatedly have been trying to reach out to these different services that Lubbock provides to help my family in need. And every time I've talked to each and every one, they apparently they have exhausted their funds. Their funds have been depleted because of other families as well that have been, using their resources for rent, utilities as well. I have also been trying to work and do little side work, but it just has not accumulated to what we need to catch up with because not only are we behind with this rent, but we're also behind with our utilities. Now, LP&L and Atmos have worked with us. And so, thank God that we've been able to keep our light and gas going. As far as the rent is concerned, I understand, we have been far behind. And I said, because due to this epidemic, I've been out of work. I also had surgery on February or January the 20th. I had a cervical fusion done in my neck. So that didn't even require me I couldn't even go back to work because of that, because the doctor has not released me for that matter. My wife, her job has been exempt because of the COVID. Now their company that she was working for, they're shutting down, and so it's just like I'm just going in circles and circles and circles, and not don't know where else to turn to or what else to do. You see what I'm saying? I'm just kind of like, and it's me, my wife, and my child. I have a 12-year-old, and so she's in school right now, and I just I don't know. I just kind of like with my hands up in the air, not knowing what else to do.
Have you been in touch with the landlords every time that you talked with community development, or who have you talked to? Let me know who you have talked to, actually.
I have spoken with Catholic Family Services and Charities, the Lubbock County General Assistance, Neighborhood Housing, the Salvation Army, Lubbock Family Promise, just those organizations that are out there. Lubbock Family Promise had helped us before, but now they've ran out. They've depleted their funds. So we're just basically they just put us on a list, on a waiting list. Like whenever we get any funds, Mr. Zavala, we will contact you and let you know that we'd be able. And they helped us with rent before, and they helped us with, and they issued a portion of rent to Marty and them. But that was the last time. I haven't been able to get any more help from them because, like I said, other families are in crisis as well.
This was prior to September of last year. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Ramsey, Marty, when did your lease begin with Mr. Zavala?
February 1st, 2020.
February 1st, 2020. Were payments made up until when?
We've received payments through September.
Okay, so everything has been paid up through September, but since September you have received nothing.
Correct, Your Honor.
And you received, part of these payments were Catholic Charities or another organization?
When they first moved in, the Catholic Charity paid a rent and their deposit, and then I think they made partial payments in like June and July, and then told us they wouldn't pay anything else for them.
I see. So June and July was the last, July would have been the last payment then that was made.
I believe, Your Honor. I don't have my books in front of me.
Okay, and then Mr. Zavala made a payment in August and September?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. And how much is the monthly rent?
900, Your Honor.
900. And Mr. Zavala, when you were helped by Catholic Charities to move into this apartment in January of last year, what was your situation then?
We were, well, it wasn't Catholic Charity Services. It was Lubbock Family Promise. We were homeless. We had nowhere to go, and they helped us. They opened their facility to me and my family, and we stayed with them we stayed over there for like maybe 60 days, and they helped us get get us back on our feet, and they helped us get like I said, this residence here. And so, I mean, they like I said, like Mr. Ramsey said, that they help with the first month's rent as well as the deposit. And then thereafter, they helped one other time, but the other times I was able to make the rent until, like I said, September was the last time. So, I mean, it was just, like I said, from there, it was just downhill spiral.
Yes, Mr. Zavala, where were you employed last year, the beginning of last year?
I was employed with Home Depot.
You were employed with Home Depot. What did you do with Home Depot?
I worked overnight.
You were an overnight stalker?
Yeah, overnight freight, yes.
Right, okay. And you received now, when did you go on the Social Security disability?
Well, I have not. I haven't received any Social Security benefits. It's just in the process.
Okay. When did your employment cease with Home Depot?
My employment ceased with Home Depot in the month of August.
And what was the reason for that?
It was due to medical leave of absence on my part, because I had issues with, like I said, my neck and my back. I've had previous surgeries on my lower back. I've had my L4 and L5 fused. I've also had a previous cervical fusion. That was all in 2015. And now I just had another cervical fusion done here in January of this year.
Okay. And what reasons did you put on the CDC declaration why did you file a CDC declaration?
Well, my wife is the one who took care of, she's the one who did all that. I'm not sure what she stated or what she put. She had she has all the documentation, and she apparently she's not here right now. She's out. So I don't know what she did with all the paperwork that she had, because she's the one that talked with the legal aid, and they helped her file for all that stuff. And she, if I'm not mistaken, she also had some paperwork that she had faxed or had sent over to the courthouse last time when they did this last time before the judge. I don't know what was issued or what she presented.
And you are together with your wife currently?
Oh yeah, we're married. Yes,
married,
but she was
married.
Yes.
And your children? How many children do you have?
I have a total of 4 children. I have 3 girls and 1 boy, but the other 3 are already adults. I I have two grandkids with one of my daughters, and the other one is 21, and my son is 18. So I only have a 12-year-old that lives here with us.
Yeah, you have a 12-year-old living with you. The other 3 are on their own.
Yes, that is correct.
Mhm. And the CDC declaration, was it, obviously these are filed independently. Was one filed on your behalf and one filed on your wife's behalf? Was your wife unemployed?
Yes, we were both unemployed. She was unemployed, and so was I.
What was she doing before she lost her job?
She was a customer service representative for a finance company.
And why did she lose her job?
There was with their employer. I don't know. It was they cut back because of the COVID. They were laying off. They were doing layoffs. They were letting go of their employees. So the only one that stayed behind was the acting manager at that time.
Okay. And this unemployment occurred when?
Her last time of employment there was in September. Matter of fact, in September was her last month of employment there with that company.
Have either of you filed for unemployment?
No, sir. Neither one of us did.
Why did you not file for unemployment?
I mean, to be honest, we just didn't know. I mean, we didn't know about how to go about doing that kind of stuff because we've never filed for unemployment before. It's just, I mean, and then with the COVID and all that stuff, I mean, I didn't know how much help they were giving with unemployment benefits as well.
Well, we've been hearing on the news that unemployment benefits, of course, were dramatically increased during this. We heard that way back in April last year. And there was extensions in the fall also.
Yes, sir.
So there has been unemployment available for the previous, almost a year now, roughly 9 or 10 months at least.
Yes, sir.
That unemployment has been available, and both of you have been unemployed since August, yourself for August and your wife since September. And neither one of you made any attempt to apply for unemployment. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I mean, you're correct.
This makes it a very difficult situation, sir. The CDC declaration is, there are some conditions on it, and those conditions are that you seek every available avenue. That is, unemployment, of course, is a very clear one, and certainly with your neck condition, are you currently seeking Social Security disability?
Yes. My stuff is I already filed and everything's in process. I've already received one letter of denial, and I'm reappealing it again.
That's not unusual, and that's why, of course, unemployment would have been the ideal thing to have pursued during this time. Because of that, you have placed yourself in jeopardy here.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm going to do. I do not relish, obviously, turning a family out in a homeless situation again. But on the other hand, I cannot abide by lack of payment during this time. So I am going to simply I'm going to make a delay on this. I'm going to continue this case just for a short period of time to give you a chance to seek out unemployment and other benefits immediately. And if there is no evidence of this, of course, the moratorium, you're aware, ends on March 31st. If the moratorium ends on March 31st, then this CDC declaration will not matter anyway. And we will proceed with the eviction within a week or so after that.
Yes, sir.
If the moratorium is extended, then I am continuing this case for 30 days so that we will come back and hear this again in 30 days. And if no progress is made, and this requires communication with both the court and with the landlord about seeking this, I am asking the landlord to reach out to you and help you with at least seeking out community development aid. There is aid out there available for rent, and I'm asking the landlord to reach out to you on that. I am asking you to be in touch with the landlord about this, to make every effort to do this. And
Yes, sir.
I am putting this warning out that we will either proceed with the eviction after March 31st if the moratorium goes away, or in 30 days unless you take appropriate action immediately. Do you
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
This is not something that you can put off any longer, and you must proceed with this immediately. So this is continued for 30 days, contingent on the moratorium. If the moratorium ends on March 31st, then we'll proceed with the eviction.
Yes, sir. I understand.
Okay. You have placed yourself in jeopardy because of inaction, and so I am requiring that you take action at this point.
Yes, sir.
Part of that action is communication with both this court and with the landlord.
Okay, sir.
That understood?
Yes, sir, it is. Yes, I do understand.
Okay. Then we are continued.
Okay, and I will get that signed order from the judge here in a little while, and I will send that out so you will both receive your copy. I may email, I may mail it out. Just watch for both.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Any further
Yes, sir.
questions,
No.
gentlemen?
No, ma'am.
All right, y'all have a great day.
Thank you.
Okay, Judge, I have a question. Because it is 4 o'clock,
Yeah.
and I do have like the last case on the docket. She's asking if we can kind of like reschedule for tomorrow kind of thing. So do you want me to call everyone over and I can kind of see who wants to reschedule and who wants to continue?
Who wants to reschedule?
Melissa Welch, it's the Steve Clark and Gabriel Reynolds.
She doesn't want to proceed right now?
Well, no, she does, but it's 4 o'clock and she's been on hold for over an hour and a half.
Right. Well, we could proceed with her right now.
Okay.
Continue the other, you're saying we could continue the other cases till tomorrow?
Well, I mean, it's I'm asking. It's totally up to you. I'm asking. I mean, it's fine. We can stay. I mean, it's not a big deal. If you wanna
Okay.
go ahead and get her in and out.
Yeah, let's get her in and out. Which one is that again?
The last case number 058.
Okay.
Melissa, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you want to go ahead and proceed if we're able to hear your case right now?
Sure.
Okay. Let me bring over the defendant. The defendant is Gabriel Reynolds, or is it Gabrielle?
Gabrielle.
Gabrielle. Okay, Miss Reynolds, can you hear me? Can you go ahead and unmute yourself?
Yes,
Perfect. Okay. All right. I do have you, and I have Melissa Welch, who's representing Steve Clark, and I have you on with the judge, and he's going to proceed from here.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. We are hearing, this is an abatement hearing, and let me proceed with, I'm sorry, who is it that is representing Steve Clark?
Melissa Welch.
Melissa, there you are. Okay. Melissa, you may proceed.
Okay, the reason why we're requesting the abatement hearing, I'll start off by saying that the balance owed on rent is $6,050, and that does include March's rent. We have not received a payment since December 9th in the amount of $350, which was made by the previous roommate, Alexander Duncan. He was the other tenant that lived there with Gabrielle, that initially signed the lease. However, he did vacate December 1st, or maybe slightly prior to that. Okay. However, he still did make a payment on December 9th just to try to assist in paying some of the balance to help her out so that she could find another place to live. Since December, Gabrielle has made mention at least 3 times that she was vacating the property. I did send all those screenshots over via text where we had said we will hold off on filing the eviction because she said she was vacating. None of those 3 times she is vacated, obviously, since we're here in court. The most recent time when we had communicated, she said they were mostly out completely. However, their truck got a flat tire and she couldn't finish moving. Never heard anything back from her after that. When I had asked a week later if she had vacated, she still had not vacated. So she's basically made no attempt to reconcile any of the debt. We haven't received any assistance from rent relief. I did contact rent relief last week after our hearing to see if there was an application submitted in her name or under that residence, or for Steve Clark. There is no application in process. I know she sent a screenshot saying that she had submitted one. However, under her name or that address or under Steve Clark, there is no application for rent assistance through rent relief. In regards to her housing situation, I know she does have family residing in Lubbock. Her mother and I believe her sister reside in Lubbock. I had spoke with her previously about moving in with a family member. She had stated that because of her dog, they would not allow her to move in. Which, if you're facing being homeless, to me, it just didn't make a whole lot of sense that you're going to keep your dog instead of finding your dog a place to live temporarily until you can get back on your feet. I do believe that the rent's not being paid on this house because Alexander Duncan was the one that paid the rent. When he moved out, not a single payment has been made. I don't believe it has anything to do with COVID, considering they moved in June 12th, which was several months into the pandemic. I don't believe she's held a job for any length of time prior to, Alex moving out, since Alex was the one that was making the payments on the rent.
And Alex is a boyfriend, is that correct? Or
he's the former fiance. They were engaged when they moved in together. And then they broke up. His side of the story is that she kicked him out. Her side of the story is that he just left. So I don't really know. All I know is that he was the only one attempting to reconcile the debt. And then once December rolled around and she still had not vacated, he just, he said, I'm not going to keep paying for a rent for her to live there whenever I'm not living there. And she's made no attempt to find another place to live. And it's primarily due to her large dog. She does have a dog over 35 pounds, which is difficult to find, especially an apartment in Lubbock that leases to a person, first off, that's unemployed, but also secondly, that has a large dog over 25 pounds. So that's just part of it. And then in addition to the non-payment of rent, I had also filed an eviction based on unauthorized animals, which I did send photos of all 3 dogs in my email, along with their fecal matter and urine on the hardwood floor there. And she did remove them.
Just one second, Welch, I'm sorry. Judge,
sure.
She did send those emails, but there's something with my computer I need to have IT fixed. It's not allowing me to pull up pictures, but she did send those in through the email, so I can forward it over to you to see if you're able to pull them up.
I see.
Okay. I'll do that now.
Okay.
Thank you. Anyway, she did remove the animals. They were there for, I think, approximately 2 months. It may have been longer than that. I can't prove how long it was, but they did cause significant damage to the residents, and they were not authorized to be there. And then in addition to that, she or her boyfriend, her current boyfriend or friend, I'm not sure, kicked in her back door after we had done the landlord lien, and I locked the door on the home. Just that's what we do when we leave a residence. We make sure it's secure. She did not have her keys on her, so they broke in through the back door. And I do have a police cause number on that as well, that her boyfriend did admit to kicking the door in, which caused approximately $500 worth of damage. There's several holes throughout the house, like punched in the walls, and there's doors that have been kicked in. There's substantial damage to that residence in addition to the delinquent rent of $6,000. There's just no possible way for her to get caught up being unemployed and not being able to keep a job. We've attempted to work with her. If you are able to access the emails I sent, there were several scenarios that we gave her and options to pay that rent and pay that balance. She never came through. We did take possession when we did our landlord lien of some family heirlooms of hers. And I did even offer to return those items, even though legally we don't have to. I did agree to return those to her if she would vacate, just to try to get her to move out of there without having to go to court. Because now all those items will be sold and applied to her balance once our eviction process is finished. But at this point, we were left no option, just because we tried to work with her. I gave her information on how to apply for assistance back in December, and here we are in March, and with no payment and no assistance or anything.
Have you had communication with her during this time?
Yes, sir. I sent all those in to the email via all the text communication. There's several phone calls that we've made. Yeah, there was probably, I believe, 10 or 20, actually about 20 screenshots of messages between her and I throughout.
And you have had verbal communication over the phone also?
Yes, sir.
And in these verbal communications, was everything in order there, or was there a conflict? What occurred in these conversations?
Generally, whenever I spoke to her, she would say, "I have nowhere to go." That's how the conversation would start. And I said, "Okay, well, what's the problem? Like, why can't you find a place to live?" And she would say her dog, she can't move in with her mother because of her dog. And then she would say that she had a friend she was going to be moving in with, which on one of those messages, there was a conversation about the most recent time she was supposed to vacate. She said she was going to have the person that she's moving in with contact me to verify that she is moving in with them. So that way I would halt the eviction and I would not file it. And I agreed to do that. I waited about 2 weeks, never heard from the friend. She never vacated and said that her truck had broke down. So it would usually start with her being very frustrated and saying that it's Alex's responsibility to pay the rent and not hers, which is also true. I mean, Alex will be sent to collections as well for the debt, just because he was also on the lease contract and he's fully aware of that. However,
both Gabrielle and this Alex were on the lease contract.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And they were at that time fiance?
Correct.
Okay. And he has since moved out.
Yes, sir. In December.
Okay. And the lease, when does the lease expire?
June 30th of this year.
I see. Okay. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell me?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
Ms. Reynolds, you may state your case at this time. Ms. Reynolds?
Ms. Reynolds, can you unmute yourself, please? Can you hear me?
Hi. Yeah, my phone keeps cutting out. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay, the judge is asking for you to state your side of the case, please.
Okay, so to start with, about the back door. Sorry, give me a second. My dog is.
What kind of a dog do you have, Ms. Reynolds?
She's a.
Sorry. I'm sorry, you're cutting out.
No more.
Take that again. No, you're,
Can you hear?
are you there? We can't hear you now.
Guys hear?
Miss Reynolds, are you there?
Sorry, my phone. Yes, I'm here.
You stepped outside to see if you can get better reception? Hello?
Yeah, it seems to be working.
Okay. Okay. What kind of a dog do you have?
She's a Labrador Retriever.
A Labrador Retriever. How old is she?
4 years old.
4 years? And you've had her since she was a puppy? Hello?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And what is her name? I'm sorry, that didn't come through. What?
It's Bella.
Bella. Okay. Bella appears to be at the crux of your problem here. And so we have a situation with this. Tell me again, I heard your case, of course, last time. You'll have to refresh my memory. How did you lose your job? Or have you had?
I first had a job back in October. I lost that because they were not a stable corporation, and they basically just did not know what they were doing. So they fired me because they thought that I had done something wrong in the system, which was incorrect. Then I just had a job that I lost due to me being in quarantine for being in contact with somebody who had COVID. And I lost that because I had to be in quarantine.
And that job was? What was that job?
I was working at Buffalo Wild Wings out in Wolfworth.
Okay. And tell me about your ex fiance, the situation there.
So basically, he had, I do have a harassment case against him, which is why I'm not in contact with him about anything. I do know his mother was paying rent, not him personally. He did not have a job either until he moved out. And he lost that job after he had crashed his truck. So his mother was always paying our rent, and just leave every. I was on no job, no income whatsoever, no way to do anything. He left me completely high and dry. Said that he would help me, and I needed up turning on his word, and pretty much forced me to keep those dogs. And because of the fact that I have a harassment charge, I had spoken to Melissa and did that, and she would like heard anything about and
We're having a very difficult time hearing you. You're breaking up almost continuously now. Melissa, I'm sorry, Gabrielle, you're not coming through at all now. Would you please move to another location where perhaps we might hear you? Can you hear us now?
can hear you perfectly.
You can hear us perfectly? We still can't hear you for some reason. Not coming
Can't
through.
hear.
Yes, I can hear. You're breaking up. It's buffering constantly. Okay. Try speaking now and let me see if I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. That's coming through now.
Okay.
Proceed with telling me about your ex-fiance. He has been harassing you, you're saying, and so your situation revolves around him. He was paying the rent, or his mother was through him. Payment was being made, and now has ceased because he is gone.
Can't hear.
We can't hear you either. Boy. You're going to have to move to another location where we can actually communicate. We're not able to communicate right now. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. No payment on rent has been made since he left. Is that correct? Gabrielle, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
You keep cutting out, but yes, I can hear you now.
You're cutting out also. Has any payment been made since he left?
Not that I am aware of, no.
The situation revolves around your pet in terms of what has occurred. I am going to rule that this declaration is invalid because the reasons that you are faced with revolve around pets and having additional pets there at the residence. So I am finding the declaration invalid and proceeding with the eviction. The declaration does not extend to the pet issue. Miss Melissa?
Yes, sir.
Are you seeking any back rent at this time?
Rent through March 31st is $6,050. And that does not include damage to the residents, nor late fees.
That is a very large amount.
Yes, sir.
What is the monthly rent?
$1,095.
And the one pet was allowed on the property, is that correct?
Yes, sir. They did pay a pet fee for that one dog when they moved in.
And the lease agreement began in what month? Or what?
It was June 12th of 2020.
Okay, June 12th of 2020.
Mhm.
Payments were made through when?
A full rent payment was made through September. They did fall behind in September. Maybe it was even late August because they had only completed approximately 2 or 3 months of full rent prior to starting to be late. And I was aware of Alex's job situation. His mother was helping them. The payments came from Alex, so I wasn't aware at the time that she was helping them. But anyway, he did have a job up until I think he wrecked his truck about a month ago, and he had a job and did say he would try to make a payment towards the balance. You know, once our eviction case is closed, he would assume some of the responsibility for the debt, which will work that payment plan out with them once the house is vacant.
In your original petition on the eviction, was he included in that, or was it just against Gabrielle?
Just against Gabrielle, since she's the only one still residing in the residence.
Okay. I am signing this today, March 24th, 2021. And bond is set for $1,095. The judgment is for $6,050. And we are finished with that today. Thank you.
Okay, and if the home
Mr.
is not
Thompson.
vacant, when can the writ of possession be filed?
Still 6 days.
Right on the 6th day.
Because it wasn't today's Wednesday, so you'll have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So she has until the end of business Monday or end of day Monday to get out, and then you can file a writ as of Tuesday.
Perfect. Thank
And
you
I
so
will
much.
either email or mail the judgment out to both of you. And I'll
Okay.
get that out tomorrow.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome. Y'all have a good day.
You too.
Okay. You've got 2 more cases and it's 4:30. What do you want to do?
Is there a possibility that we could continue these 2 tomorrow?
Let me bring everybody over. Hold on. Hello, this is Savannah with Precinct 4. I do appreciate everyone's patience today. I know it's kind of weird sitting in the waiting room. You don't really know what's happening. You're just kind of sitting. But we did have several cases today. And actually, there are 2 cases left, which is why I'm bringing the 4 of you over. I'm wondering if we can go ahead and redo this tomorrow.
At what time?
We can reschedule for the same time, 2 o'clock.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Mr. Thompson, does that work for you? Or no? I can't hear you, sir. There you go.
We can't do them right now. We won't have enough time.
Danae, are you still on here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Your office closes at 5?
5:30.
5:30?
I'm available.
Okay.
We could do one
Just
more.
go ahead and get them. Let's just go ahead and get both of them in. I mean, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. So let's do. Okay, Danae, yours is actually the last one on here. So let's go ahead and get Thompson and Robertson. Miss Robertson, is your phone number 039?
My phone number?
Yeah, your phone number, or is it ending in 289?
289.
Okay. Okay, Miss Williams and Danae, I'm going to go ahead and move you back over the waiting room for just a little bit longer, okay? Thank you so much. Okay. Okay, Judge, I have Teresa Robertson, and then I have here Tyler Bryce Thompson. And this is for case number 397.
Correct? Okay. Mr. Thompson,
Yes.
you are contesting the CDC declaration that has been filed by Teresa Robertson. Is that correct?
Yes.
And on what grounds are you contesting this?
She basically has totally stopped paying rent. She won't answer texts, phone calls, or anything. She never gave me a CDC declaration. Early on, she said she was hospitalized with COVID for several weeks, and that's why she wasn't paying rent. We found out that that wasn't true. She told me.
How did you find
she
this
had
out?
a long.
How did you find that out, sir?
I showed up at the property, and her boyfriend was in the garage doing something with his car. And I said, hey, I'm just trying to figure out why we can't get rent. You know, her mom is telling us she's been in the hospital with COVID in Amarillo. And he said, no, she doesn't have COVID. She never was hospitalized with COVID, but she was not, you know, she was using that as a reason not to pay rent. She will not pay rent until she's forced to or forced to move out. And I mean, I get I mean, we're all going through stuff right now, but she will stay rent free until she doesn't have another choice. And so this has been going on for 8 months now. And she hasn't lost a job either.
Okay. Was she employed that you're aware of?
Yes. As far as I know, the last hearing we had a few months ago, she said her check had gone down by $100 or something. I don't know if that's true or not. But as far as I know, she has not lost a job.
I see. Okay. Is there anything further that you need to tell us?
Well, I just want to get it all out there. She told me she had a lawyer and that he was helping her get money out of an annuity. She gave me the lawyer's phone number and a name. The phone number wasn't real. I don't know if the lawyer ever existed. She sent me screenshots of, you know, I have this much money coming to me from corn harvest with $12,000 or $10,000 that it was pending, and so she couldn't pay rent until it was done pending. So, I mean, I've got a long list of things like that, but basically just anything and everything to avoid paying rent, but kind of under the assumption that there's plenty of money there to pay it. She just can't pay it that day. And now she won't answer a text, a call, or anything. That's about all I have.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Ms. Robertson, it is your turn
Yes.
to present your side of the story.
Okay. I never said I lost my job. I still have my job. I'm just not what they call a full-time employee. We all got moved over to temp to maintain our job, which means instead of me making $15 an hour, I went to making $9 an hour. 1 week I'd work 40 hours. The next week I'd work 26 hours. And yes, I did work corn harvest during that time. And the money that I did receive from that went to pay back everybody else that I had borrowed to pay him rent.
And so you have not made any payments since then.
No.
What is your employment that has been, you work 40 hours a week before at $15 an hour?
At the city of Lubbock.
City of Lubbock, and doing what?
Solid waste.
Solid waste. And you're still working with the city of Lubbock in solid waste,
Yes.
but your hours were cut and your pay was cut.
That's correct. I won't come back a full-time employee until the 12th of April.
On the 12th of April, you will come back full time.
Yes. And I've submitted paychecks, my last 2 paychecks that I got from them, plus the 2 paychecks that when we rolled over to the temp service, and my very last paycheck that I've just received.
And Judge, I just forwarded those emails over to you.
Okay.
And I also do have text messages where somebody messaged me in February about a filter being put on unlocking the back gate to put a filter. And I have those as well.
Okay. Is there anyone else on this lease besides yourself?
No.
Do you have any children?
Yes.
How many
I have a
children?
9-year-old. I have a 9-year-old daughter.
One 9-year-old daughter.
Yes.
Okay.
And my 15-year-old niece lives with me.
You have a 15-year-old niece living with you also. Okay. And have you been in touch with Tyler, with Mr. Thompson?
Not since January.
And why is that?
The last time that I was in contact with him, it was regarding me paying more in rent, which I was already struggling to pay. He wanted $1,200 at the first of the month. Before his dad passed away, I could talk to his dad. His dad would let me pay $500 at the first of the month, $500 at the middle of the month, as long as it was paid by the end of the month. To catch up on the back rent, he wanted $1,200. Yes, I did agree with it because at the time I didn't have anywhere else to go.
Were you able to make any payments whatsoever?
I gave him $1,000, which I borrowed from my aunt to give to him to stop the phone calls and the texts. And then I gave him $500
Okay,
a couple of weeks later.
You did give some partial payments during this time.
Yes.
Mr. Thompson.
And then I tried to send it Venmo or tried to Venmo. It didn't go through. And just to set it up, I tried $5 and then it took like 2 or 3 days for it to go through. So then I gave him the $1,000 in cash and the $500 in cash.
I see. And have you sought out rental assistance?
Yes, I actually am on the waiting list right now, but they said that they are not able at this time to reach my landlord or the person that is on the lease.
Have you been in touch with the landlord about this situation?
No. The last text message I got from him was in February, I believe. And he stated that he had gotten a judgment and that I was supposed to be out of the house the day before. And he was in the process of going and setting all of my stuff out.
And that was not done because you filed the CDC declaration. Is that correct?
Well, yes.
Okay.
And I didn't even return his message that day. I called the court because I had done like you had asked for me to email it in.
I also ask that you be in contact with him, and that does not do well for your case, that you have not been in contact. It is absolutely critical that at least partial payments and that every attempt be made for rental assistance for the CD declaration to be upheld.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
Then what I'm going to be forced to do is this. The situation does show at least some validity to this declaration. However, there are some points of contention here. I'm going to allow you to fix those, which means immediate contact, and I would ask you to work with the landlord on any assistance. It would help both of you to pay off what you owe and to make payments to him. And I'm going to ask both of you to participate in this, that you would seek to do this. I cannot find this invalid today. However, it does raise, there have been questions raised here. So I'm going to continue this for 30 days. And the CDC moratorium may end on March 31st. If the moratorium ends on March 31st, this eviction will proceed as normal business at that point in time. If the CDC declaration is extended beyond March 31st, then we will have another abatement hearing in 30 days. And if you have not made every attempt to work with the landlord and to seek out assistance, then I will be forced to invalidate the CDC declaration at that point in time. Now, I am making this warning so that you are aware of the situation and so that both of you are aware of the situation. And I would ask that both of you make every effort to work together. And if I find that that either one of you has not made reasonable attempts to work together come that 30-day time frame, then of course we will have a discussion about that, and I will rule one way or the other at that point in time. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Judge, what's my role in trying to work together? I mean, what am I supposed to try and do?
If you are contacted by Ms. Robertson, then you are to provide whatever documents are necessary to help her get assistance. If you can show me that she has not made contact, not made attempts to work with you, or fallen down in any way in providing what she needs to do to the authorities, then you would have a case. If you do your best and she does not follow through, then I would find the declaration invalid. If and vice versa, I would find the declaration valid if she has made every attempt and you have worked with her on that.
Okay. I mean, I've offered multiple times, Judge, that I will release all of your debt. I won't put anything into collections or anything if I could just get the house back. And she knows that as long as this CDC thing is there, she doesn't have to pay a dime. And I get maybe in 30 days we can change that, but it's been 8 months now and I have $1,500 worth of rent.
That is a very difficult situation, and I find this very difficult. Ms. Robertson, you understand the position that you have placed Mr. Thompson in, do you?
Yes.
You understand that it's not just that you aren't getting paid everything that you used to be paid, but that he isn't getting paid anything lately at all.
Yes, sir.
And so that is part of the CDC declaration, and this is a very difficult situation. I don't want to put any more stress on either one of you, but my hands are tied on this CDC declaration at this point. We will see after the 31st what occurs, but I would say that if the moratorium ends on the 31st, you will be evicted unless you can make full payment immediately at that time. If in 30 days you have not made every effort to work with him, that is to be in touch with him, make any partial payments that you can, all of that will be considered at this point in 30 days.
Okay.
And I want to see actual progress made on this.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We are continued for 30 days unless the moratorium ends on the 31st of March.
Okay, and I will send you the both of you the order either email or via mail. Just make sure you watch for both, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Judge, last one. So I have Danae from Linwood. And then she's representing Linwood Townhomes, and I have Afronet Williams.
Yes, ma'am.
Afronet is the tenant in this case, and this is our final case today.
Okay. let's see here. Okay, so we have Afronet and who is representing Linwood?
Danae.
Danae. Okay. Danae, if you will proceed with why you are contesting the CDC declaration.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
On grounds that she hasn't paid close to the amount of the monthly rent would be our initial.
Has she been making partial payments?
She made a payment in March the 8th.
Okay, the monthly rent is how much?
$880.
$880.
Yes.
And how much did she make in on March 8th?
She was behind 2 months, so she made a payment of $700.
She made a payment of $700. She was behind 2 months at that point in time.
Yes.
Okay. And is there any other reason that you're contesting this?
Well, the original case, you had stated that the CDC wasn't valid. So that's why we had this court date.
Actually, did we have an abatement hearing before on this?
No, we had the court date, or we had the court, and then you just stated that there would be another hearing due to the CDC declaration not being valid.
That would have, if the CDC declaration was not valid, then that would have been at an abatement hearing.
That's what we're doing today, sir.
Yes, but she's saying that this happened prior.
No. She's saying that during the initial eviction hearing that you had found, I guess, through their both testimonies that the CDC declaration was invalid, but you didn't want to mark it invalid because it wasn't an actual abatement hearing. We had to have a separate hearing for it, is what she's saying.
I see what I see.
Is that right, Danae? Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just going back here trying to figure out what we did then. Okay, and okay. When was the original eviction hearing?
When was that?
Was that 2/24? No, that was the petition date.
Hold on just a second.
It was on the 16th of March.
Okay, the 16th.
Okay, sorry, I don't.
Because I think they were actually in court when I gave them this hearing date and time.
I see, okay.
It was one that you continued to be able to do an abatement hearing. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I had gotten Miss Williams' email and then Danae's email, and I emailed them both the notice of hearing at the same time.
Okay. That's good. Thank you for clarifying that. Since I don't have any of that written down or that I could see on this. Okay.
If you're looking at the case, Judge, 2021-625-053, you see where it says non-jury trial docket for 316, and then it shows that they were served papers, or that the tenant was served on 3/2. And then if you notice that notice of hearing in the order was on 3/16, so that tells you that happened during the court.
Okay, right.
And then the 3/24 is where we're at now.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. And okay. So the contention is that rent has not been paid and that partial rent, that only $700 out of 2 months' rent has been paid. Is that the total amount that is behind is 2 months' rent?
Well, as of today, since she made that $700 payment, she owes. Sorry, give me just a second.
$875. Okay. And so it is basically 2 months behind, with almost one of those months paid for with the $700. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Ms. Afronette, do you have a defense today? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Since we talked, have you made an attempt to make a partial payment since we talked last?
No, sir, I haven't. But I had filled out an application for assistance with helping me with the rent because I was out medically from work. Is the reason why I didn't have the money
And the reason that
for my rent.
The reason that you were out medically, ma'am, is what?
I have a heart condition and I had an open wound that I had a real severe infection in, an open wound on my lower left extremity of my left leg. And I was in the hospital.
Okay, and you have filed a CDC declaration. On what basis did you file the CDC declaration?
I had signed it and turned it into Danae, but you said it wasn't due to COVID.
It was not due
to. That's why we was having.
I see.
It wasn't due to COVID, so that's why we had the hearing today.
I see. Okay, I remember.
Yes, sir.
I remember this now. Finally, it's making
Yes,
sense.
sir.
And
yes, sir.
The CDC declaration only applies, of course, in the case of COVID, and so this.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Would not be valid, and so I am finding today that the declaration is invalid because your illness was not COVID related.
Yes, sir.
Thus, unfortunately, unfortunately for you, we'll proceed with the eviction today. And Danae, what is the total amount of back rent alone which you are seeking?
Yes, it's gonna be the $875.
$875. The judgment is for $875, and the bond is set at $880. And I am signing that today, March 24th, 2021. Are there any questions?
And what is the bond? I'm sorry.
Bond is only for appeal. You must vacate the premises within 5 days.
Okay.
If you have not filed an appeal within that 5 days, you must be out on the 6th day. By the 6th day, you must be out.
Okay.
And so
yes, sir.
You have 5 days to move at this point.
Including the weekend.
Yes, that would be to Monday, roughly Monday at 4:30. Our office closes at 4:30. You must be out by then.
Okay.
Okay, and I am marking this as an invalid CDC petition declaration.
Okay, and Danae and Miss Williams, I will send that order to you tomorrow, more than likely through the mail, but possibly through
okay.
email. Just watch both.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, any further questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, you ladies have a great day and thank you for your patience today.
Okay,
We're done. I'm going
thank
home.
you. All right.